start with you, Georgina. Tess is such an innocent, sweet soul, very trusting. What were the characteristics that you loved about her as a character?
I just love that. It's so interesting. A few people today have been saying, she's really intelligent and she's really smart. I'm like, yeah, she is really intelligent. She's really smart. And she kind of goes through this moral prism. She goes through this moral challenge, which Justin's character AJ also goes through, and she wins. She's good. She's a good person, which is lovely to play. I mean, yeah, I'm like you're rooting for Tess. You want everything to work out for Tess.
Justin, on the opposite end, we have AJ. So I was trying to think of something to talk to AJ, to talk to you about AJ that wouldn't give anything away. But how would you describe AJ to an audience, and what would you share with them about him?
Thanks, Jill, for turning it around on me, because it's such a hard task, as you know, to talk about something that we don't want to give any spoiler, we don't want to ruin anything. And AJ is he comes along at a point in the story where things have really taken a turn for Tess, for Georgina's character. And so it's hard to talk about without giving stuff away, but I would say he is all the things that Tess isn't, as she mentioned. She passes that moral test. He fails it with, like, in the most spectacular way. He is a despicable person. He's done awful things, and he has moments where there's glimmers of accountability, and then they all just go out the window. He's just like a real narcissist, and which is fun to play, kind of.
I imagine so. So another question for both of you. I'll start with Georgina. How do you know how to trust in your life? Because a lot of things are built on, in the story, the decision to trust. So I want to know what makes you decide to trust someone.
That's a good question.
Yeah, I was talking about this earlier. I was saying that it takes me a little while to trust people and to warm up to them and to get them. I even, like, recently, which is so bad, like I worked with someone and she was so unbelievably nice and kind. I was like, what are you up to? Like, what do you want? And I was like, oh no, she's just like a really lovely person. So I don't know. I guess trust, it comes with time, doesn't it? You get to know a person, you get to kind of feel them out, they get to feel you out, and then, if it all clicks into place, there you go, you've got trust.
Yeah, that's a great. It's a good. Georgia, I like Georgina's. I guess it takes time, it takes experience, but there's a great line. I think about it a lot in Almost Famous, in the Cameron Crowe movie, where Kate Hudson and Patrick Fugit's characters are talking about their age, and Kate says, how old are we? And he says 18, and she goes, how old are you really? And she goes, me too, I'm 18. How old are we really? And he goes, 17. She goes, me too. How old are we really? And it finally gets down to his real age, and he says it in a way that's like, I think he's 15, and he says it in a different way. He just sounds different. And she goes, you see that? The truth just sounds different. And I think about that a lot in terms of acting and just in life, when I meet people, when I'm facing whether or not to trust somebody. I think and the older you get, the more you hear, the more you experience people, the more you can hear the truth in what they're saying. I don't know, I think.